the Tuesday Mind Mission on the Toad Cam. Missions, goals, projects, priorities, scenario planning. This is where NLP could really get its act together. If it could possibly sort of drag itself out of its mysticism and its occultism and its fascination with very hard to quantify strange phenomena and stick to business. And missions. Okay, ecologies. Ecology is a big idea in NLP that has gotten foggy. I think the ecology mission in NLP has become weakened, it has become confused, it has become sort of out of focus and indistinct. And when we're talking about ecologies, we're really talking about systems and system thinking. So the more, if you're teaching NLP, you want to get good at NLP, you want to have a high value add in your contribution as a trainer or seminar leader. Learn as much as you can about systems thinking and the concepts of ecologies, both in biological living systems and in thought systems and cultural systems and family systems. And after the catastrophe of the subprime / structured finance securitization project of the 2000s, the problems we've experienced in defining our mission in the Middle East, I don't know how many times the Iraq, whatever you want to call it, has been redefined. The mission, a half a dozen times, like why are we there? Why are we deploying these resources? What end result do we want? And now technically, sort of, theoretically, we're not there. Now the question is, what is our mission in Afghanistan? What do we want the place to look like? How do we want the place to be socially organized? How do we want them to allocate their resources? Who do we not want to be involved? What belief changes do we want to have happening over there? And so there you're talking very similar to a personal intervention. You're also talking about the same kind of processes writ large in large cultural or region or theater transformation. So we have a pretty good basis, I think, a pretty good reason to think hard about systems and ecologies. One of the things they do in planning, in really advanced planning, in corporate planning, military planning, geopolitical planning, is use a scenario planning models or writing future histories, basically really writing detailed outcomes, almost like at a novel level or a creative writing level, exploring 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different, 5 is a number I run into a lot, sometimes 6, possible futures. Possible ecologies. If you start changing elements in the ecology or you start changing elements in the system, you're not just going to be changing specific element here, here, here. You're really going to be changing the whole way that the dynamic of the system and the way people are incentivized with that system and all these unexpected outcomes and blowbacks that are potentially there by making those changes and altering the power relationships, altering the information flow relationships, altering the pricing of things, how much it's going to cost, whether you're in it for a quality result, whether you're in it for a time-bounded result, you need to get it done within a certain amount of time, and damn the quality, whether it's going to be constrained by cost, and so the length of time you're involved and the level of quality is all going to be about how you want to allocate a very limited number of resources. So I think it's real valuable, real useful for NLP and other fields to explore the idea of scenario planning, and there's a lot written on scenario planning that has really grown as a legitimate way of thinking in corporate circles. So if you start teaching people good scenario planning skills and running through the sort of inner submodality representations of how different things turn out as possible futures, or sort of writing 6 different potential science fictions or 6 different potential social fictions or 6 different potential economic fictions for how that region will change or how that family will change, or say you're advising a foundation, how that foundation will subtly or significantly alter its mission, or how a research organization might subtly or profoundly alter its mission, or how an individual might subtly or profoundly alter his or her mission, can very much be guided by visions of the future, potential visions of the future that are laid out in scenarios. And so I really advise finding out as much as possible about scenario planning and the scenario method that is used really universally right now in advanced planning models. NLP right now is silent on scenario planning. They don't talk about it. So we need to move into a much deeper appreciation of systems, ecologies, and future scenarios, and exploring ways of exploring that. We're using all the stuff we've learned in all the different branches of NLP to enter into, move through, walk around inside of, inhabit, and experience how different future scenarios might play out, how they differ from each other. You know, what are the critical points of distinction between them? What do they have in common? So really, you know, get with that, especially on the scenario planning front. There is a place that NLP could just zoom ahead, and if you got really good at teaching that, you could be of very significant economic value to a lot of people quickly.